Welcome to the very first video of our productivity course, the Productivity Ninja. In our course, the lectures will reach a total of 9 hours and we will also have interactive activities. So pick up a notebook to write notes in it, and we're going to start today's quick video right now so you can learn how to double your productivity. Keep in mind that it is important not only to watch it from the beginning to end, but also check the next videos that we're going to send you by email, because that way it will be very clear to you how you can make the most of this course. And before we start talking about specific techniques, it is better to map this strategy, explaining what kind of changes we need in order to have a better focus in our work, on studying, and also on our personal endeavors. And that is how you're going to start sparing time to enjoy what really matters in life. My name is Seiiti Arata. You probably are already familiar with some of the coaching that we have at Arata Academy, but today we are focused on this video course, how to increase your productivity with Productivity Ninja. And what is this and how does it work? Productivity Ninja is a video course, and I'm aware that probably you don't have a lot of time, so the video has the flexibility to shape itself to your own rhythm. The first thing we ought to clarify here is that our proposal is not for you to work to double your results. That would be too easy and blatantly obvious. When you complete this course, you'll be able to identify what are the big priorities that deserve focus, and everything will be done in an easy and natural way. We're going to build a shield against distractions, and we're going to eliminate energy and time wasting. Those are the actual results at the end of the course. With Productivity Ninja, you will be able to concentrate on what matters the most. It can be a promotion, it can be a search for a better job, taking care of your friendships and spend real quality time with your family, not simply being physically there while your mind is wandering about. That is important because productivity is a key competence. With more productivity, I can do anything. I can reach new professional levels. I can pass an important exam. I can start my own business. I can go back to my hobbies again. You know, those personal projects that ended up shelved because we didn't have enough time. With more productivity, I can finish those books that I started and I stopped halfway through. I can keep my house organized. I can learn how to play music. I can learn new languages, I can travel. Well, I will have a better life. Deep down, that's what we want. Productivity is the tool that we need to make the most of our time. And with that being said, there is another important concept. Productivity Ninja is not a time management course. I have done those courses myself with the most renowned authors in the world during the research phase for the preparation of Productivity Ninja. Logically, I will be passing to you the best of each one of these, and I'm going to be mentioning what works and also what doesn't work very well. And write this down in your notebook. The conclusion is that it is not possible to manage time. Time is a constant. Everyone has 24 hours per day. Some people know how to get the most of it, while others let time slip away, losing themselves in distractions, in pointless conversations, in wearing relationships, eating food that drains energy and triggers health problems, and in habits which diminish ourselves and not promoting our brain's growth and fortification. In the time management courses, the instructors generally ask people to buy this agenda, this appointment book schedule. It has multiple colorful tags to represent different types of commitments and other priority levels and contexts. The time management proposals, we need to reduce the size of our to-do list. So if I have a short one with 5 to 10 tasks that I need to get done, I can look at that, I can feel motivated because I know I can do it. However, if I have like a huge list of activities, more than 100 tasks, I don't know where to start. I have the tendency to procrastinate, to put it for later. And that happens if my list is also messy and does not have context. Let me give you an example. If I have a list where I write, send the report until Wednesday, and collect the budget by Thursday and have a dentist appointment and buy milk and write my thesis and buy a present and visit my cousin at the maternity. What is the problem with this kind of list? Well, if I'm working, buying milk, cheese, soda, whatever is completely irrelevant. Why? Because I'm not going to be able to buy milk if I'm at the office. What is relevant for me in this context is only to get the budget and finish the report by Wednesday. The same thing goes for the other contexts. So if I'm at the market, the proper place to be thinking about what I have to buy, I don't want to be haunted by the ideas of getting reports or budgets or work-related activities. I'm not going to do that at that moment. And if today is Thursday, I don't need to know that I have to visit my cousin who just had a baby at the maternity. That's something that I will only need to be aware by the weekend. That's when I have my personal available time. Do you understand where we're going? I need to organize all this mess to become a productive person. So the time management systems will tell you that. They say you have to write down everything, every little thing, from buying milk to writing your PhD thesis. So as the days go by, all the ideas that pop in our head, we have to write it down. And let's imagine, for example, I just saw a friend on a social media with some photos doing some skydiving. And I think, oh, that's pretty cool. I want to do that as well. So I will write it down so I can forget about it. The goal here is to free up my mind. So from time to time, I have to check this list. I have to identify what are the things that can be accomplished at this moment. For example, skydiving is not something that I can do right now. It's something for the future, so I can put it in another list called maybe someday list. And by doing that, my messy list is becoming a little bit more organized. I'm going to remove everything that can't be done right away. I'm going to remove the ideas that I have already discarded because they're no longer important. And I'm going to put my focus on what really matters and keep everything else as a reference. This is doing a filtering so I can have a very useful to-do list. Are you getting it? Perfect. So what will I do after that? I pick up all these actions and I deconstruct them. Because a lot of times a task like writing my PhD thesis is not really a task. It is a project with multiple tasks. So I have to deconstruct the idea of writing the thesis into do the initial research, meet with my thesis supervisor, do a report on book A report on book B, a report on book C, do this type of interview, analyze data, and so on. So after having all my actions and projects deconstructed, I'm going to organize everything and I'm going to ask myself what can be done in 2 minutes or less. And I need to check as well what can be delegated. Then I call the person to tell them what needs to be done. I'll create a mechanism for review and then I'll be sure that the outcome will be spot on. And for the things that I'm going to do, I'll stick them on the calendar. For example, going to the maternity on the weekend, doing the report by Wednesday. And I can also grade these activities according to the context. So is it something that I'm going to do in college, in the office, at home, inside the car, in the traffic, at the market, and also according to projects or teams. There is something that I have to discuss with my boss, something that I'm gonna talk to my intern or with my wife. There is something that I have to do with this project manager. I will also put different tags and color codes for different deadlines and different priorities. So now, let me tell you what I have found while working with many different customers of Arata Academy online courses. There are 3 types of people. The first, which is a minority, is looking at me right now with that expression, well, yeah, what you're saying is pretty obvious. I already do that, by the way. So these are the type of people who have a methodical profile. Moreover, every time you draw these flow charts, they just love it because everything for them has to be quite logical and structured. In other words, to keep teaching time management and workflow techniques to them, is not really useful for them to become more productive because they already do that. It's not really adding a lot of value. People who are already organized need to take a bigger step than the one provided by these methods. For example, they need to be in a better shape, to be with more energy in the morning. That person knows exactly what to do, how to do, so it doesn't really make sense to be teaching them what they already know, right? What they need, for example, is to learn how to cope with laziness, or be given some interpersonal tips to have fewer conflicts with some of their coworkers or relatives and make their time more useful. The second type of person, which comprises most people, they look at this chart flow and they get even more desperate. Doing things is already difficult. So can you imagine doing things and also having to be grading, classifying everything, putting color codes, what needs to be done at which context, with whom, what type of urgency, is it in college, in traffic, is it urgent, does it have a bigger priority than that one? That is absolutely overwhelming. It doesn't get me anywhere. To most of us, having to grade everything will make us lose more time instead of gaining it. And the worst part is that this flow chart needs to be done multiple times per day, and then you have to be reviewing and keeping everything fresh. So that is the second time, and we have a third type as well, which is the type of person who thinks, well, that's very interesting. I'm gonna try, and this is gonna change my life. So they go right away and they start to adopt that system. And when you meet this person, let's say 5 days later, they say, oh my God, I've completely changed my life. Now I'm using your time management flowchart. I'm grading all my tasks. I have all those colors. I'm super productive now. It's amazing. And then you become happy for them. You say, wow, congratulations. I'm very happy it's working for you. But 1 month later, you meet that friend again, and then you ask, oh, how's your time management system going? And then they say, wow, what a bummer. I'm not using it anymore. It gave me so much work to be grading everything. These days, I'm improvising. I'm doing it by heart. In other words, they abandoned the method. Why? Because they don't have that methodical profile. You know people like this. Just look at your school friends, your coworkers, your relatives. So many people who are chaotic, let's say creative, free, spontaneous. So there are those people. There are also those who are more organized, more logical, strict, methodical. They are simply different. I'm not saying that one type is better than the other. If you call a creative person and ask them to be following some type of a step-by-step system, they will generally come up with some type of excuse. They will not follow it. And if you ask a methodical person to be improvising and creative, they might struggle a little bit. With that being said, I agree, it is good to have methods. Productivity Ninja will teach you all the details of different types of organization processes. But our approach here is much more simple, and it's something that will work for a lifetime. It's not one of these methods that you start today and get rid of it a few days later. To explain it, we're going to speak about another important concept, one that you can write down as well. The first one was that it was not possible to manage time. Remember? The second one that I ask you to write now is that we're going to manage our energy. Having in mind that the number of hours per day is a constant, our goal is to understand that the quality and quantity of energy are different from person to person, which is a huge difference. And there is one group who found a way to increase that energy in a sustainable manner. And by increasing and amplifying that energy, they have a peak in their mood and they can get other techniques to have even better results. This group is Productivity Ninja. The members of our group know that it is important to take responsibility for the results we have. Those who pay attention to their own action will naturally have better decisions with more energy, more results, and more productivity. Those who are not part of Productivity Ninja generally blame the circumstances. They blame the government. They blame their neighbors. They blame their coworkers, their partners, the clients, the boss, even the computer. So by blaming others, well, they feel better because when others are taking the blame, there is no need to change anything in their personal choices, their personal behavior, right? That way, for years and years, they will keep doing the very same things. They will not evolve anything, they're not growing. They're gonna harvest the very same results, and they can keep blaming others. So that's the reason why at this first place we're going to focus on managing ourselves. Look at this difference. It is not managing time. Time is a constant. Time is external. I'm gonna manage myself, my choices. It is only after I have more focus and more energy that we're going to be able to put our attention on using different types of techniques and methods to gain productivity and improve ourselves and also our teams. The research for this course was quite extensive, and one of the authors that I use as a reference, you're going to hear about him a lot, is Peter Drucker, one of the most influential authors in management of all time. Peter Drucker says that no manager can manage their subordinates without controlling himself first. To be effective, you can't rely solely on being smart, working hard, or having experience. Being effective is a little bit different than that. It is something that doesn't require a natural gift, but instead a pretty specific and conscious training by using small techniques that we're going to adopt here in Productivity Ninja. Are you enjoying? Let's quickly explain some of the essential concepts that are part of our program, Productivity Ninja, that you're going to learn here. If you have already submitted your email, you will receive a message from us in 40 minutes with all the details on how to get full access to the course. I am aware that these days many people have more than one email account, so use the account that you open the most, because I want to be sure that you will receive the next videos and you can make the best out of it. And if you think that this video was useful, please post a comment below, share it, like it, because this is going to help us to inspire more people with Productivity Ninja. Now, I want to ask you something. Why is that you are interested in increasing your productivity? In other words, what is your current and biggest frustration with your current level of personal productivity? And this is the interactive activity in this video, because it's very important. It is worthwhile to understand what our goals and challenges are. Only after that we're going to be able to seek a specific and appropriate solution. But first we have to get awareness. So please spare a minute to think about the results you have been getting and about what you would like to be doing with more productivity. I'll see you in the next video in 40 minutes. And if you have just entered this website for the first time, it is always good to check by putting your email one more time in this form so we can be sure you will receive all the materials, right? My name is Seiiti Arata from Arata Academy. All the best, and I see you soon.